match, no? Kung sino maka-adjust and sino maka-cope, well, probably, no, you get almost half the job done. Pero, no, two teams, 22 men, no, they are pumped up. And alam mo naman, Loyola, with that win in the bag against Global last week, no, they just sent out a warning shot, no, sa Stallion na, hey, hindi pa tapos ang laban because if you want to win the title, you have to go through us. But big news nga for Loyola because they are missing some very important players at the lineup nila.
And important players that showed up mas lalo na nung laban kontra sa Global. Players that really picked up the slack.
Big players in Chad Gold and Mark Hartman. Not in the Loyola lineup, in the starting 11 rather. Si Mark Hartman actually wala talaga dito because he's in Singapore playing for the under-23.
As James Young Husband and Wako Cañas with our coin toss. And our referee for today, the 23rd man on the pitch. That is very, very important as well. A lot of pressure will be on him. Tignan naman po natin yung 11 ng Loyola Meralco Sparks.
Well, Phil Young Husband and James Young Husband, no, ito yung familiar partnership up front. No, they've achieved success no magkasama sila up front. But the big news really is the absence of Mark Hartman, Jason Kotamura replacing him at midfield. Jang Juwon, of course, medyo okay rin siya, no? He was steady in that match against Global, but no, untested backline really. Yung makeshift ang backline nitong Loyola is Armand Del Rosario and Yong Jong Yol pairing up.
Tignan naman po natin yung 11 ng Stallion Santa Lucia. Familiar names all across the board here.
Well, no, again, Stallion leading the line is Rufo Sanchez, and just behind him, ito si Lee Ju-yong. They're coming off a 6-3 win over Nomads, and scoring hasn't been a problem for this team. Pero some defensive frailties, defensive issues that surfaced against Global. Pero with Jeremy Hearn and eto si Wako Cañas back in action, and of course the leadership of Kim Yo-il, etong backline ng Stallion still dependable as ever.
Diego Barrera played phenomenal in that match against the Nomads. Starting today as we are now underway. Are we 90 minutes away from crowning Stallion as the United Football League champions? Or will this battle, this championship race against Global continue on because of a win or a draw because of the play of the Loyola Meralco Sparks?
Well, take a look at here, no, kung paano sisimulan nitong Loyola yung laro because they all know they're playing with a different lineup. I do think this is the first time they're fielding this kind of lineup this season. So, kung titingnan mo, they will try to feel this lineup out. No, titingnan mo na, no, they will try to test. They will, isubukan nila muna kung how Stallion will play them because in the moment, medyo conservative muna sila dito.
And here comes Matt Hartman. Tackled there by Matthew Nieras. He will stay there with the Loyola Meralco Sparks. Into the middle, James. No, balik na naman sa Stallion, and Wako Cañas will steady the troops. For the Stallion in pink, ang Loyola naman po naka-electric orange. For Stallion, Sidelf, what do they need to do today to get that championship?
Well, they have to dictate the style of play, yung tempo ng laro. And they can only do that with the control of midfield, especially with Diego Barrera, Park Bubay. Of course, Lee Ju-yong as well is playing in support of Rufo Sanchez. Creating chances is never a problem for Stallion because they have a very, very hard-working striker in Rufo Sanchez. Ito si Rufo Sanchez, he just makes all those runs and just creates problems para sa depensa. Of course, hindi nila ma-overlook ito ang Loyola Meralco Sparks because they have quality up front in Phil and James Young Husband, and these are very experienced players, and of course these are very proud players na who probably wouldn't want Stallion to celebrate this victory in front of them.
A championship that they honestly believe that they could have easily won as well.
Especially with that performance against Global last week. Sad news para sa Loyola. Chad Gold injured. Ito si Simon Greatwich injured. Some of the big names in that club injured.
So wala kang Simon Greatwich, who plays the right back for them, and of course Rodrigo Nembot and Chad Gold, who play the center back. this makeshift back line is going to be a big concern today.
Well, definitely a test of character para sa club na to. They've gone through some adversity, especially in the second round with that run of really, really bad results, no? That wala sila sa contention para sa title because of those 3 games, no? And you see the margin of error in the UFL very, very small, no? Kung mag-slip up lang yung one of the top 3, it could alter things, and you know, hindi mo alam, nasa baba ka na pala, and you no longer have a chance to win the title.
Ball is in the middle. Moving it to the right now as it's with Jake Moralio. James Young Husband could not control. There will be a goal kick for Hasegawa, who's really stepped up as a goal, the main goalkeeper for Stallion in the recent matches.
Well, malaking bagay for Coach Ernie Nieras that Hasegawa stepped up, because Wilson Munoz not 100%, and always, kung kailangan mo manalo, you need a reliable backup, and Hasegawa has really also made a strong case as the #1 keeper of Stallion.
Hugo Sanchez, challenged there by PJ Padregalan. Sanchez still standing up. First trigger for him is blocked. It will go back to Stallion though.
No, Stallion dictating the play so far in this match. Rufo Sanchez dropping back. What you like about Rufo is that hindi siya pinaminili. He will try to work hard kung kailangan yung maging available para sa midfielders para ma-build up yung atake. Andun siya.
Ball in the middle. Risky here for Loyola. Diego Barrera applying some pressure. Testing out niya yung confidence ng backline na to.
And whatever Stallion does as of the moment, wala ka masabing mali, because they're trying to put this backline under pressure. Certainly a big test. But also, kung meron niyang nawawala, it's really a huge opportunity to step up. Take a look at Jake Moralio beating si Jeremy Hon. Ang malaking bagay dito, Jake Moralio hasn't seen action for quite some time para sa Loyola. And now, he is facing Jeremy Hon on that left side ng Stallion, which I do think may advantage siya kahit papano because of his speed.
Of course, Hearn's advantage is his huge size kontra kay Hearn. Kontra kay Katamora, rather. Flag is raised. We'll go back to Loyola as that ball, to Stallion rather, as that ball went out. Wonyong looking on. 6 minutes and both teams trying to figure things out. Lee taken away by Phil. Phil's pass is stopped and it ends up with Diego Barrera. Chance here for Stallion. But that rain playing a part. Zaghi with a shot and it hits the side netting.
A crucial block there at midfield. Etong midfielders netong Loyola Meralco Sparks caught out of possession. Diego Barrera initiating the counter-attack here. Iwan etong si Jason Kutamura and Jang Juwon as well. And great layoff there para kay Hector Zaghi. And Zaghi, difficult angle to work with. Pwede niyang i-cross yun para kay Rufo Sanchez, but it hits the side netting and Loyola off the hook.
Matthew Hartman to James. Not find his brother Phil. Zaghi controlled. Square pass is intercepted. James asking for a foul, none given. Diego Barrera naman para sa kabila.
Well, actually, it wasn't a foul that he was looking for. It was actually si Jake Moralio looking for a run from Jake Moralio, trying to make himself available. Masyadong crowded dun sa area ni James Young Husband.
Is it gonna take a while for Loyola, yung mga bagong pieces and the pieces that have been playing for quite a while, to get on the same page?
Oh, definitely, because you haven't seen James Young Husband really play as on top all season long. No, kaya marami pang no, this is a feel out. First 15 to 20 minutes should be a feel out process para sa Loyola.
There's that cross. It's wasted opportunity for Matthew Hartman. And in those 15 to 20 minutes, Sidel, yan yung panahon dapat ng Stallion, diba?
Well, they should start strong and really capitalize, you know, on the unfamiliarity ng positions dito para sa Loyola. Pero for Loyola, they're trying to as much as possible stay on the safe side. You know, be very, very cautious. And you're seeing that there's less pressure. No, they're trying to put a lot of space para sa Stallion, but as much as possible, kung may chance silang mag-press. Take a look at here.
Jake Moralio going up against Hearn, and Hearn closes that door. Katamora, James, and him and Moralio not on the same page right now.
Well, just a reminder, you know what? Kung mag-draw dito ang Stallion and Loyola, still the door is still open para sa Global to you know, nip etong Stallion in the end, because the Global at 40 points, Stallion at 45.
And that would mean we will go down the wire once again.
And kaya sinasabi natin at the start of the coverage, you know, this is really down to Stallion coming up big at such a very important time of their season. And ang sinasabi nga ni Coach Ernie Nieres before, you know, the past few days, this is the most important match of our club. And need I say more?
Yes.
Kung ikaw yung player, gets mo na yung message na yon.
Medyo understandable.
Self-explanatory na yon niya. Ayusin nyo laro nyo ngayong gabi.
As the rain is slightly letting up, it will play a factor at one point in time in this match, and that's usually what happens in high pressure situations. As Hector Zaghi ngayon, a player that switched around a lot of teams, pero nung pagdating niya dito sa Stallion, mukhang nagamit siya kaagad na maayos ni Coach Ernie Nieres.
Well, Hector Zaghi, the start of the season wasn't really utilized, pero as his fitness levels improved, malaking tulong itong si Hector Zaghi, especially on the right side. He scored a very important goal against Global, pero not enough. Very steady itong si Hector Zaghi.
Throw in for Zaghi. Padrigalan with a header. Ju Young with his first attempt.
Nearly poor clearance there from PJ Padrigalan sa harap mismo ni Lee Ju Yong. We all know Lee Ju Yong has a very, very lethal right foot. Swerte yung Loyola doon that he wasn't able to hit it properly.
Phil leaving it to Matt as Loyola has primarily gone to that left side. Moralio again caught flat-footed as Lee Ju Young subukan ilipat kay Lee Won Young, and it's sailing out of bounds, so it will be a throw-in for the Loyola Meralco Sparks.
Titingnan mo, first 10 minutes, ang concern really for Stallion is how patient they are, especially when they're building up, because it looks like medyo nagmamadali sila to pull the trigger, and in fact they can they are capable of systematically breaking down Loyola.
Barrera taken away, and here comes Matt Hartman, but immediately stopped by Waco Cañas. Great ball, here comes Zaghi, but it sails out. Diyan na pumapasok yung ulan, stopping, turning. I mean, it plays a factor.
If you go all out when you make a run, mahihirapan ka kung mag-control ng bola, especially with the wet surface.
Lee Won Young. Hard tackle. Young is down. Asking maybe a little bit more, but the referee, Ruel Emnas, okay lang. Nabigyan ko na ng foul. Alex Alnar. with that tackle. Let's take a look at it again.
It was late, no? Na-release na ni Lee Won-yong yung bola. Maswerte doon si Alex Ednar that he wasn't booked by Royal Emnas.
Kim Yo-il will open the play. Two Stallion players not communicating there, but Zaggy. Will be a throw-in for Stallion. And Jeremy Hahn will come over to do so.
Much has been said about this Loyola backline and how they rose to the challenge against Loyola.
And you see Armand Del Rosario and Rufo Sanchez. Konting wrestling lang.
That's what Armand Del Rosario will give you. It's a physical presence, you know. No, he hardly got the ball against kita mo dyan, no? And he was pushed, no? Rufo trying to back up on Armand. Armand refusing to give an inch.
On, ball is in the air. On will send that out, but there will be a throw-in for Loyola.
Yun nga, sa laban ng Global, itong si Armand De Luzar hardly touched the ball but had impact. Especially the way itong Loyola was able to shut down that high-powered attack of a Global.
And again, today,
si Armand magaling tong gumamit ng katawan all the time. Minsan, when you play that defensive midfield, minsan nabibigla ka na, nawawala si Marvin or si Marin Angeles just because he's there.
At nakausap natin si Armand after the game, and I asked him, paano nangyari yun? I mean, first start in a long time, bigla ka na nandun sa gitna, maganda ka agad laro mo. Sabi niya, this is the first time in almost my entire life that I've trained and practiced every single time with my team. Sabi niya, I'm in the best shape of my life, and pinakita naman niya ng laban yun.
If that was proof enough, yung performance na yun, see, opening up here para sa
shot, and it's wide left. Lee Ju-yong with some warning shots for Ref Quaresma.
Lee Ju-yong, you cannot afford to give him space from long range because he will try to let it rip from out there. Let's take a look at here. Iwan ito si PJ Fadrigalan. Again, pedestrian defending there from PJ Fadrigalan, but that shot from Lee Ju-yong, solid hit. Just couldn't get it on target. Pero ito nga, one of the strengths of Loyola of Stallion's game is that long range shooting from Lee Ju-yong, and it's something that the Sparks should be worried about.
Kim Yo-il. Lee Won-yong now for Stallion. Diego Barrera looking for Sanchez. Sanchez against Del Rosario. And Ref Quaresma with the save.
Well, again, Armand Del Rosario doing just enough there to put off etong si Rufo Sanchez. It was off balance there to si Rufo Sanchez, and that was because of the presence of Armand Del Rosario. Great defending there. Took away the angle. But again, if you see that chance, you gotta admire it to si Rufo Sanchez at the way he was still able to manage a shot at that position. Look at this. Armand Del Rosario.
Bumi-veterans eh.
But Ref Quaresma also had it all covered. Great positioning there from Ref. Armand Del Rosario making his mark here early on defensively.
Zaggy kontra kay PJ Fadrigalan. Hector Zaggy with that skill. Ball in the middle and it's cleared out. That was Del Rosario again. Lee Won-yong now with it. Lee Ju-yong, and that is in. 1-0.
And that goal could seal the title para sa Stallion. Lee Ju-yong, unbelievable strike there. Took it first time. The ball bouncing around the penalty box, hindi ma-clear ng Loyola ng maayos. And that here. The initial pass was deflected into the path of Lee Ju-yong, and look at the power of this shot. Takes it far post. Ref Quaresma helpless. Bottom corner.
And that's what we were, what we were talking about. 15 to 20 minutes para sa backline to get things right. Happens at the 17th minute.
Well, yun, yung dahil doon, hindi nila maklear ng maayos yung bola kanina. It was just really pinball in and around the penalty box. And the Sparks, just too much pressure from Stallion led to that goal. And Lee Ju-yong, one of the most ruthless finishers here in the UFL.
Kita nyo kanina, parang may iniinda si James Young husband. We'll have to see how long he can go and if he's still at the same speed as Yong Jong-yul. Matt Hartman. That's a foul. And Hartman and Bobe, Mark Bobe rather, getting a little too familiar there.
Well, itong Loyola, they could not control the ball at midfield. Walang semblance of control whatsoever there at midfield, and that's why they've been unable to build up. Quick passing from Stallion. And Ina just leading to that chance earlier.
James Young husband. Not getting the runs that he's asking for. Ball back to the left side.
Kung titingnan mo, James Young husband, as a striker, as a frontman, very stationary. Hindi siya masyadong gumagalaw. He just likes to back up on his defender. And if the service isn't there, no problema yun para sa team ng Loyola, because James has to make an extra effort really to make himself available, and not just wait for the ball to feed. He should exploit the spaces.
Cañas, long ball. Tatamora trying to get that to Matthew Hartman, but it ends up with Zagi. Sanchez flipping it back to Zagi. But it is finally stopped there. Jong. Kim Yo-il sends that back. Elnar. Loyola's just not on the same page right now.
And dito pumapasok yung hindi familiar yung mga players with each other, playing with each other. Although naglalaro sila during training, it's a different ball game kung nandun na sa loob.
Mark Bobe. Now to Hector Zagi. Stallion staying on that right side of their pitch. That ball was way too strong. Hector Zagi, our Clearman player profile. Favorite player, of course, Neymar, fellow Brazilian, 24-year-old. Neymar, now part of Barcelona.
Kakapirma lang sa Barcelona itong si Neymar.
At nakita mo rin yung resemblance.
Oo.
Hindi naman
Sa style ng laro.
Sa style ng laro. Yung Brazilian.
Mahilig sa
flashy.
Tricky, very creative, skillful, and by flair. Yun ang similarity nila.
Phil Young husband as Jake Moralio making a run.
Great defending there from Waco Cañas. On the run, had to make a clearance.
5 shots already for Stallion. They look to add that more as Diego Barrera shot, and it's saved by Ref Quaresma.
Itong Stallion just creating chances out of short passes, and itong makikita yung ganda ng samahan itong Stallion. You see the cohesion, you see the understanding between the players. They know where to go and time their runs very well.
Bodies go flying into the stands. We're halfway through the first half. 1-0 po para sa Stallion as Lee Ju-yong put his team ahead. They're 1 foot into winning their championship today. Jong.
One thing missing here as well para sa Loyola is that Jong is playing at the back, and malaking kawalan siya sa atake ng Loyola. He is the most mobile attacker of Loyola, and Loyola relies on him for movement in and around that area, and then that's what they're missing as of the moment, apart from that person, a player who can control midfield, and that hasn't happened for them in this first 20 minutes.
Yung isa pang problema dito ng Loyola is that they only have 3 people on their lineup that can be reserves as of right now. Is Alex Elnar, Jong, rather Del Rosario. Foul is called. Mark Bobe drawing that one.
Itong Stallion just too quick para sa Loyola as of the moment. No, even the press, itong front men, itong Loyola not working because Stallion released the ball almost immediately.
Phil James is just having a hard time on the top. I mean, it's difficult for him. He's not a striker.
But not only that, no, it's just because of the service and the quality of the service. No, papunta sa kanila. No, you can't have Phil Younghusband fighting for headers all the time, and walang ka-lay-off, no, walang ka-link up. Etong si Phil Younghusband, he always likes for someone na lumapit sa kanya, make himself available, may outlet siya, so he can make a move.
Clearance there by Jong, and it is 4 fouls per side. So it has been very difficult to really stamp your physicality in this match, as both teams have been showing that they both can do that. Sanchez on your screen, siya na naman yung target man dito. Kasama na rin dyan si Wako Kanyas, nakakababa lang. See this corner kick here. Ball in, headed out. See Phil Younghusband having to do everything right now.
And
as Sanchez!
A big chance there for Stallion to double their lead. A great service here from the left side. Rufo Sanchez, free header. Masyadong libre. A great save there actually from Jeremy Hon. And Rufo Sanchez, PJ Fadrigalan caught napping again defensively. Ball to the far post. Libreng-libre si Rufo Sanchez, but just couldn't get the header on target.
That's the spot that Roxy Dorlas was the one that usually there, pero ngayon si PJ Fadrigalan ang nandun as Diego Barrera. Lee Wan Yong. Hanap si Lee Ju Yong.
And then you see here what has characterized the play of Loyola. Really, you see Phil Younghusband dropping back, needing to make, needing to disrupt the play of the other team. Whereas usually, kung tingnan mo siya, in most of his games, he'd rather sit up front and really hope na dumating sa kanyang bola.
3 more shots went the way of Stallion. Wala pa rin nadadagdag itong Loyola. Good run here for Fadrigalan. But Cañas, the ever-reliable center back, just getting that one out.
This is probably the farthest na umabot sa half ng Stallion itong Loyola in this first 25 minutes.
And the rain is really coming down now here at the Emperador Stadium. Referee Roel Emnas looking on, wiping off the rain from his face. We've seen one match get, paused. And syempre, Loyola na naman naglalaro nun.
May kalaban laging ulan ng Loyola. You see here, really heavy.
Zaggy. Tatlo nakapaligid sa kanya, nakawala pa rin. Ngayon, Matthew Hartman na naiiwan sa kanya as Rufo Sanchez is down.
There must be some contact there between Rufo and Armando Rosario again, I believe.
Rufo picking himself up. Him and Arman.
I don't think na kailangan pa silang i-introduce right now.
Na sila.
They've gone really close in this first 27 minutes. course, no, Armand, such a feisty competitor.
And ball there on Hector Zaghi. Rain definitely going to become a factor. Will it be called? That will be up to the referee. Armand Del Rosario may tanga ng bola ngayon. Great ball, but Jang Ju-won could not control. Balik na naman sa atake, Diego Barrera, and there's Armand Del Rosario and Rufo.
Great shielding there from Armand.
But bad clearance.
A little bit casual etong si Yong Jong-yol there. He had to concede the corner when he could have cleared it properly. Medyo hindi niya na-clear na maayos that time.
So it will be a corner kick for Stallion, and Lee Ju-yong just walking on by. Lapit na po tayo sa kalahating oras. Lee, send this one in. Shot, no! Great defense there by Loyola to just get it out, but questionable on the entry though. Moralio making another run. Great play by Lee Ju-yong, and Moralio is down again.
Good recovery there from Lee Ju-yong. Might have been a foul there on Lee. Whereas Loyola was trying to go for the counter-attack.
"30 minutes down, and it has been a conversation about that back line of the Loyola Meralco Sparks. It has been shaky to say the least.
Well, shaky, but at the same time, you gotta consider, ang midfield combination ni Jason Kotamura and Jang, who's really, put them in trouble. Etong backline, they've been getting little protection from their other players. It's been, mas makikita mo pa itong si Phil Young Husband really doing, needing to track back, and that's been, kung nakikita mo na si Phil Young Husband making more defensive plays than attacking plays, well, you have a problem.
Problema talaga yan. As Armand Del Rosario tries to send that into the middle, balik na naman si Stallion. Sanchez. Nutmegging. Shot! And that is wide left. Him and Jason Katamora now getting a little bit familiar with each other. Last off Katamora, kaya magiging corner kick na naman para sa Stallion.
The quality at midfield just lacking as of the moment para sa Loyola. They don't have much time on the ball, and these players, they're not doing enough para mailag or just avoid those tackles. They lose the ball so easily etong midfield ng Loyola.
Kim Yo-il magpo-provide ng corner kick na to. Ball goes long. Cañas with the header. Phil again making another stop. Now looking for his brother James. Jeremy Hon. Phil trying to do whatever he can. Hon making a run. Katamora. Ball is just stopping in certain spots here. Padrigalan, hinahanap si Phil. It will sail out.
And the work rate there of Phil Young Husband in full display. And Jeremy Hon trying to be adventurous that time, trying to advance the ball. And such is the confidence right now of Stallion that even Jeremy Hon usually sits at the back, is confident enough to carry that ball forward.
Cañas with the long ball. Will be a throw-in. Pasensya na po sa inyong lahat na medyo malakas po yung ulan dito sa Emperador Stadium, and it's reflecting off of the lights, so if it's hard to see, kami na po ni Isidel po ang bahala sa inyo, as Alex Elnar with it now. Swinging to the left side. PJ Padrigalan. to Jang Ju-won. Jang. Faking, but that ball is taking a big break every time it hits a puddle.
Such a
Hard
difficult
tackle.
conditions right now on the pitch. The weight of the ball. Mahirap basahin because of the water gathering on the pitch right now.
12 minutes remaining in the first half. Sail out, throw in now for Loyola. 1-0 in favor of Stallion. There's that throw, it's long. Wako with the clearance.
The situation has really made it increasingly difficult para sa dalawang teams really to initiate the attack. Of course, Stallion, mahilig sila with short passes, and yung bola nila, they couldn't execute and they couldn't implement that style of play because of this rain. At this point, you just got to be smart and you got to be clever.
Matthew Hartman and Hector Zaghi around the ball right there. Oh, and now it's getting a bit testious. Pati si Lee Ju-yong nakisama na rin, pati si PJ Padrigala. Tignan natin ulit yung nangyari dito. There was that push by Padrigala and Matthew Hartman coming from behind. And a step there by Hartman. Shot by Jang Ju-won, and it's wide right.
Well, Loyola doing a good job at keeping the ball at a dangerous position, where they can have range to shoot. And nangyari doon, Jang Ju-won able to get a shot off, and Stallion, yung depensa nila, biglang parang nagising. So a wake-up call there para sa Stallion, and they looked complacent for quite some time. Wala silang masyadong ginagawa, and they need to keep their concentration, to keep their focus there, because at any time Loyola can strike.
Hasegawa sending that ball forward. It lands right in front of Lee Won-young. Here's Rufo Sanchez. Armand Del Rosario again using that veteran smarts.
Armand Del Rosario, he's really coped well here with the threat of Rufo Sanchez. And, he's had a good game here para sa Loyola. Yung goal ni Lee Ju-yong, not much that the defense can do. They could have cleared it properly, but the quality of that strike just too good para sa Loyola Meralco Sparks.
Ref. Jang Ju-won kontra kay Lee Won-young. Throw in para sa Loyola rather. Asking for handball, none given. Alex Elnar. Phil Younghusband. As the rain has completely taken over this pitch.
You gotta wonder kung pag-iisipan ng mga officials natin to put a halt to proceedings. Napit na rin tayo sa halftime, but just really difficult to play right now.
And referee Roel Emnas, sabi niya, dali. Masyado akong basa. Nanging towel. Titigil muna tayo ngayon. Calling the match for right now. It has been 37 minutes of action so far. Pero dahil po sa kalakasan ng ating ulan dito sa Emperador Stadium, match has been halted until further notice as both teams head to the bleachers. Sidel, what does this mean?
Well, titingnan pa muna nila. I think this will be a 30-minute stoppage ng SOP. In this kind of situations, 30 minutes kung may pagbabago sa conditions, hindi muna tutuloy. They have to wait, and wait until the conditions are better before resuming action. as of the moment, dominating yung Stallion.
Yes.
But Loyola threatening in the latter part of the first half.
We'll be back here on Action TV. Nagbabalik po tayo dito sa loob ng Emperador Stadium at McKinley Hill. And, well, you know what? Hindi pa tayo tapos dito.
Well,
we need a champion tonight.
Oo, and hindi pwedeng madelay if it's potentially a coronation for Stallion.
Oh, and that ball took a bad break. But Quaresma able to send that one out.
Well, this one, at this stage, you cannot afford to give those kinds of passes because, hindi mo basa yung roll ng bola ngayon. And you have to stay on the safety side, and that means, when you say the safety side, kailangan clear mo na lang kung ikaw si Armando Rosario.
At this point, will short passing be better than long ball? Or because, no matter what, that ball is going to take a bad bounce somewhere.
Well, you got to be smart, when you play in this kind of conditions, if the conditions certainly don't favor short passing. So, you know what to do. Kung hindi nagpumapabor sa short passing ang bola.
See that ball just swivel around. We get back to the action. Ito ngayon si Rupa Sanchez kontra kay Armando Rosario. Ball in. Lee Ju-young, could not control. Buhay pa rin yung atake ng Stallion.
Well, Loyola careful not to concede the corner that time, but sa sitwasyon na yun, because they didn't want to concede the corner, ang nangyari naman, they lose the ball to Stallion. It's a good thing naka-recover sila at that situation. But Stallion just piling up the pressure on Loyola.
One thing to take out of all of this, you gotta hand it to the Emperador Stadium. Able to stand up to the weather,
Well, this pitch is really built for these kinds of conditions na kaya pa rin kahit ganito ng sitwasyon ng ulan, and ng field natin.
Because I think anywhere else, I think we would have had any problem. We would have had some problems. This is our clear man profiling in. Phil Young husband, 25-year-old striker, celebrity crush, Angel Oxin, and his favorite player is Leo Messi. And he really needs to perform today.
Oo, syempre. This is the last game of the season para sa club niya, and what better way to go out of the season with a good performance.
Back to back sana, na
a goal. Well, Loyola, they are out to salvage some pride, because the season hasn't been that favorable para sa kanila, but they did post a really big win against Global last week, and that's something to remember by when they build a team again for next season, if ever when they need to change players, to change it up, or
that ball stopping. This side of the pitch has been very, very flooded. Sa kabila mo ang okay na, pero dito sa bandang kanan has been very, very flooded. Man down, I think that is Park Bobe.
Park Bobe has a history of injuries and some concern here para sa Stallion.
There you see, getting some treatment. Phil Young husband on your screens. Natin ulit yung takin kanina.
Bombay. Nahuli lunch. Itong si Alex Elnar just catching in there. And it was a 50-50 ball, kaya nilet go ng referee.
No clear-cut adjustment so far, since the reboot. Parang nangyayari, dalawa yung halftime natin dito sa Del.
Oo. But you see, Loyola, wala na silang pinaglalabanan dito, except they're just playing for pride, and they're hoping to play the spoilers role. Pero last week, nung nalaman nilang pagiging spoiler na lang sila, tinutuon na lang talaga yung pagiging spoiler nila.
And another man is down. Hector Zagi naman. And is that you know, because of the defense, or is that because of the pitch?
Well, definitely
A little bit of both.
The conditions really not helping because, you know, hindi mo nga mabasa yung speed ng bola, and at the same time, hindi mo makontrol yung footing mo. You know, the balance is not there because you're slipping and sliding.
And there, looked like he might have twisted his ankle a little bit. Pero si Hector Zaghi healing himself up from the pitch, and he will go on. Kim Yo-il. Diagonal ball, Rufus Sanchez, no.
That is the right approach as of the moment. Just send the ball into dangerous areas para may chance naman yung team nyo. Kahit papano, despite the conditions there, Stallion carving out a chance off a long ball, off a set piece. Galing kay Kim Yo-il, but Rufus Sanchez unable to find the target.
Throw in right now for the Meralco Sparks, and kung kanina po kayo nanonood, I've wondered why the change in uniform for Stallion. Kanina naka-pink sila, and well, just change. It was drenched. You needed to at some point,
but at the same time, yung pink na jerseys look very similarly yung shade nila sa orange, no? Malapit, no, minsan na hindi makita ng maayos, but minsan sa UFL talaga maraming firsts na nangyayari.
Gitna ng match.
Oo, nagpalit ng uniform ang isang team.
Liwan Yong. Sumabit na naman si Alex Elnar, and that's the third time, and he's gonna get booked now.
And that was reckless there from Alex Elnar. Very aggressive on the tackle, but at the same time late in challenge na yon. And he caught.
So kanina si Diego Barrera, I believe that was, tapos si Park Bobe, and now it is
Liwan Yong.
Yep.
And that's a high boot to the knee. Dangerous play there from Alex Elnar. And that merited, deservedly, a yellow card.
Kim Yo-il with the long ball. Hinahanap niya si Rufo. Armand able to make that stop and draw another foul.
And just being a presence, eto si Armand Del Rosario. And sometimes you don't need a lot of the ball to be effective. It's just his positioning and just his physical, sheer physical strength that's holding off and taking out Rufo Sanchez out of his comfort zone.
Oh, that's another high boot. Dangerous play right there para kay Katamora.
This could be trouble here for Katamora.
Dilaw na naman.
He's lucky there. Na yellow card lang yung binigay sa kanya. With the way the match has been going on, with the trend in the past few minutes, been tackles flying around, some reckless challenges coming in. Take a look at here. Katamora just putting his foot in the face of Park Bobe. He was going after the ball, and we've seen challenges like that. Get the player gets dismissed and gets a red card, and swerte nga talaga eto si Jason Katamora na nandyan pa siya ngayon sa field.
Orange card nga naman daw, diba? I mean, it could have easily been red, it could have easly been yellow. It's up to the discretion of the referee.
Now it's dangerous play.
Oo. Well, Elnar rather, ang ating referee says, not yet, dilaw muna.
But you gotta be careful here. Homegrown players ng Loyola, ito si Alex Elnar and Jason Katamora. And probably the conditions helping them out.
Kim Yo-il, 2 minutes of added time. Nakaisa na po tayo. Katamora, Matthew Hartman looking for James, and that was a clearance out by Waco Cañas, repaying the favor of the recent physical play.
Hindi pa rin linis yun kanina. Stay away from mommy!
Padrigalan. Oh, and it's just getting really physical now. Oh, and a push parang galing kay Padrigalan. And Matthew Nieras.
For Stallion, it would be wise for them to avoid these kinds of confrontations because they're leading as of the moment. Some nonsense there from PJ Fadrigalan. A chance here para sa Loyola just before halftime.
Usually si Mark Hartman po yung nagde-deliver nito pero wala po siya para sa kanyang opponent, so it will be Matthew Hartman. Ball in, header, and it's in! Loyola has equalized! James Younghusband, always a threat in the air.
James Younghusband, what a way for him to surface at such a huge occasion para sa Loyola Meralco Sparks, just out to salvage some pride. And when you talk about pride, you talk about the Younghusbands coming up big there. Eto si James Younghusband. Always a threat in the air, and he wins that header over Waco Cañas.
Hindi madali yan.
Towers above everyone else there. This is,
Great
first of all,
ball.
a great delivery from Matthew Hartman. Right in down the middle, and it took a deflection, I believe, on Waco Cañas. Hasegawa beaten. And our title race gets another twist.
45 minutes of football, 2 minutes of added time, 30 minutes of temporary suspension, and finally we are at the half of this match. Nothing has been resolved. 1-1 Loyola Stallion. This cup, it will be decided at the end of this all.